Hi, and welcome to my first episode. This is The Curious Spiritualist. I think I'm going to keep that name. I'm not completely sure. But thank you for being here. I am happy to be here. I'm so happy that you're taking the time to at least try to listen to me ramble on about different things that I like, and hopefully you like them too. Since this is my first episode, I'm going to talk about myself, and I also want to share a story of how this podcast even started. And it all started by a shamanic journey. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Ashley Toms. I'm an intuitive energy healer with shamanic practices. I'm certified Reiki 1 and 2. I'm a certified life coach. And at the time of recording this, I'm about to do death doula training. I'm sure I'll share more about that, of why I decided to go down that path and what the training is like. I'm sure it's something that a lot of people aren't as familiar with. I'm a little all over the place with my experiences and practices, and it's mostly because I get curious about stuff. So I'll kind of do like a deep dive into it just to learn what I can, and then I just move on to other things. It could be my ADHD. Maybe I'm just a curious person. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. To give you a better idea about myself, I grew up Christian, an intuitive grandmother, but at the same time, I had a great great aunt who would read tea leaves. I never had the pleasure of meeting her, but I grew up hearing about her. I grew up knowing that being intuitive was okay. My grandmother would tell me stories about seeing Jesus and seeing different angels and things of that nature. She even took me to get my first palm reading, which I know is kind of weird to grow up religious and then having a religious grandmother who took me to do that kind of thing, but I really think it helped shaped me to who I am today. As a teen, as I was starting to get my own intuition, it really helped me accept it a little bit easier. At that time, I got into witchcraft a little bit. At some point in my 20s, I kind of turned my back on everything. I was in a really rough spot in my life, and nothing seemed to fit with how I felt. But as I was struggling and in that really dark place, I eventually found my way back to spirituality. I'm not a big fan of organized religion, but I am very spiritual. This is a spiritual podcast, if you haven't figured that out yet. So, over the last 10 years, I've really just been trying to learn and heal myself, and it's been a hard but really great experience. I have found so much healing, especially after I found my shamanic healer and teacher, Sarah Goff. She was great. I absolutely love her. I will be mentioning her pretty often. She has been a big part of my spiritual journey, especially the last 3.5 years since I started working with her. I have done soul retrieval work with her. We've done psychopomp work together. I walked the medicine wheel with her, and I've gone on like so many just journeys with her. It's been a really great experience. My intuition, my emotional health, just everything has really blossomed since meeting her. And she's so down to earth and cool, which really like makes it fun to work with her. We often, by the end of a session with her, we just kind of laugh about how we're just like two weird women that are just part of the same soul family, and just how much fun it is. Because this work, this healing, it really should be fun. Like it's not easy, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, like we should just be having fun. We should be playing, and that's part of the reason why I have this podcast going. And to get into how that all started, I did a shamanic journey with Sarah about a month ago. She invited me to do destiny tracking, which I've actually done before with her. But these kinds of things you can do over and over if you want. All you really do is just uncover more and more about yourself, which is pretty cool if you ask me. If you're not familiar with doing a journey, I'll try to explain it from my point of view, what I can remember. It's kind of like a guided meditation if you've ever done that. My memory is a little fuzzy on it since it was a month ago, but also when you do these types of journeys and healing, you really only remember what you're supposed to remember. And it doesn't mean that the other stuff isn't working, that it's not already in line with your energy or in place. It just means like you don't really need to remember that. So there are parts of this that I can't remember, but there is like one main message that I did. So Sarah had us start at the tree of life. We walk in front of this tree and she has us walk inside of it. Now, a shamanic journey, you either go to the lower world or you go to the upper world. I think with this one, we went to the upper world. So she had us walk into the tree. Imagine the sap and the life of the tree is carrying you up and up through the branches until you get to the top. And we are going to the upper realm to meet Pachacuti. When we get to the gate to meet Pachacuti, we have Jaguar there. She usually instructs us to call on our power animal. My power animal is a tiger. I do have some other big cats that seem to show up for me, but I mostly use tiger, and honestly, I'm here for it because who doesn't want big ass badass cats like helping you on your journey? So I'm at the gate. I'm with Jaguar. I'm with Tiger, and Pachacuti opens up the gate for us. And other people could see things differently, but I typically see like a rainforest, and Pachacuti is taking us to this chamber or this cave of sorts with 4 different rooms. I can't remember what the 4 different rooms represent. One of them was about something that was holding us back, kind of like a limiting belief. One was soul retrieval, and the other one that I can remember was a gift from Pachacuti. So we go to the first room, I'm understanding limiting beliefs. We get to the soul retrieval. It's my younger self. Wasn't entirely sure that she was gonna come with me, but she ended up being super excited and just really wanted to come back, which is always fun. Then we get to the part about the gift. And it's gonna sound silly. I shit you not, the gift that Pachacuti gave me was a microphone. And it's not the first time that I've gotten this gift. So intuitively, I felt that the message was about using my voice to be authentic to myself, and that using my voice is how I can help the people that are living and help people that are dead. That might seem a little weird and bizarre to you. However, it made perfect sense to me, and that might make more sense to you as I explain more about myself in future episodes. So it's time for the journey to end. We have what we learned in our soul retrieval and our gifts, and Pachacuti leads us back out to the gate, and we come back down from the realm, and we get back to the tree, and we're going down and down and down into the tree until we finally exit the tree and go back into our body. Sarah usually has us spend like a minute or two feeling that, coming back in, kind of writing things down. And we typically, in the session, Sarah kind of helps us get a little bit more perspective on what we learned and what our gift is. And I just knew that it was time to start a podcast. It is something that I've thought about doing, and honestly, if I did it before, I don't think it would have been as fun. Because in that time in the past, I was a much more watered down version of myself. I didn't mean to be, but I was so about people pleasing, and I was really focused on trying to start a spiritual business at the time, that I was trying to mold myself into what I thought people would want from an energy healer. And after a while, I just got sick of it. I got sick of trying to start a business and not working and all the energy I was putting into it. And I just said, fuck it. I'm not going to try to start a business. I'm just going to focus on having fun. And within that, I had so much healing. Walking the medicine wheel definitely helped with that. Part of walking the wheel is letting go of ego and letting go of labels. So that was a big part of it. But I was just focused on having fun. And it's been really cool to just release how people perceive me, because now I really don't care if people think that I'm spiritual. I really don't care if people believe if I'm a healer or not. Like, it doesn't matter. Now, here I am starting this podcast. I really look forward to sharing like more about myself, more shamanic journeys. I'm really into the paranormal right now. I'm thinking about doing some investigations in the future, so I'm going to be sharing more about that. I just can't wait to share and just have fun and take you along the ride with me. I do plan on trying to record a few episodes in advance and put them out at once. These episodes are probably going to be fairly short since it is just me, and I don't want to ramble too much. And I am trying to not follow a script for these because it's just not as authentic. You know, if I want to channel a message, I want to be able to do that. And I I just want to have fun. I know I keep talking about having fun, but that's really all that I want. I want this to be something that doesn't feel like a chore. It's just a way for me to share my voice, share my story, and hopefully other people can connect with that and learn from it. If there's anything that you can learn from this podcast, I hope that you learn that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be a little weird. It's okay to have interests that other people don't understand. Like, it doesn't matter. People, honestly, people aren't even really paying attention to us too much, and that's the truth. So, I think I'm going to end this episode here so I don't ramble even more. The next episode is going to be how I was haunted by a perverted ghost. It's pretty creepy. So until next time, have fun and stay curious.